Hello, hello, gorgeous souls. I wanted to hop on about the awakening experience and talk about discernment because I feel like it's very important that you understand how to use discernment. And that's been said a lot over this awakening journey with myself, from others, and people that I follow that I really admire and respect. And people don't really go into what that means. And I wanted to do that today. And to me, what using discernment is are you trusting your own intuition? Are you trusting your belief system? Are you trusting your body and the way everything feels from within? And do you trust yourself to make decisions, the way you live your life? Do you trust your level of responsibility, your level of capability in your own life? And when I think about discernment and I watch videos, I'm like, wow, that really resonates with me. Or I'm like, oh, I don't really vibe with that video, whether it's on different topics, whether it's what's going on in the world, whether it's spirituality. Um, and it used to confuse me when people are like, oh, use your own discernment and figure it out for yourself. And I'm like, well, how do you know if what you're watching is true? And it really came to me that the one thing you can really ask in watching things and understanding if it's true or not true is ask yourself, is this just somebody's opinion on something? Is it something maybe they've experienced that they're sharing? Or is it something they've been told along their journey that they're just relaying the information? Because here's what I have come to realize in my own life is that I would always question why. Why are we doing things a certain way? Why are we doing it this way? Why are we using this instead of that? And I would just kind of get told because that's what we do. Or don't question it. This is just how we're doing it. This is just what works. We're going with it. Don't worry about it. You don't need to know that. And all of these things kept coming up, whether I was in the fitness industry, in the financial industry, in different jobs, with different friendships. I really work to understand things on a deeper level, and not everybody is like that. And then what happens is people start going and putting all their opinions online about certain topics. Like there's lots going on in the world right now. Things are getting shaken up. It's quite an interesting time we're living in. But really question when you're watching things that are resonating with you, is this just their opinion? Is it something that they've been just told and they're sharing that information? Or is it something they've actually experienced and they're sharing their journey with you? Because even though we may not see it from their perspective or we may not agree with what they're saying all the time, if it's coming from a place of their own experience and what they've been through, that's true for them because they went through it. We don't have to understand it because we didn't go through it. And it's so interesting to think about this now, going on this journey and sharing my awakening and what this all has meant over the last 6 years. But even going further back, I've started to really understand a lot of this puzzle over the last 48 hours. And when I shared with you guys yesterday about how my awakening didn't really start 6 years ago, but I really only came to understand it, and how there was so many things that happened prior. I was sitting here this morning reading and journaling, going about things in a different way. And I was like, man, like right from the jobs that I had to the people I met in those jobs to the different opportunities that came from those people within those jobs, all of these things had to intricately line up for me to make those decisions in my life. And it was so profound to think about it. Like if I think about the serving job I had, we used to go in there to eat all the time. And then some of us were like, we want to work here. So then I finally got a job there. And then another girl got a job there. And I was in the fitness industry also at the time and just kind of like weaseling my way out of that. And she had come and started there. And she was the one that introduced me to my next opportunity in the financial industry. And it's just so crazy to think that that lineup of events in such a short period of time led me on all these different paths, these different journeys in my life. And when you go back and you think about, man, like, had I stayed at the gym longer, I wouldn't have worked there when she worked there. We would have not met, like, and there's just so many things that came even out of that experience, just with that one person that slowly started to unlock like different pieces of this journey for me. And what came from it from there wasn't really the most positive experience ever. But what came from it was the deeper understanding of projection, of not taking other people's opinions about me personally. There was a huge lesson in that for me. And sometimes we go through these situations that suck shit in the moment, only to come out of it on the other side and be like, that needed to happen. I needed to understand why this was part of my journey. It was for me to understand that lesson. And you guys, even still to this day, sometimes when people are like, if you keep repeating cycles in your life, you haven't learned the lesson. And I just like, it infuriates me because I'm like, how many times do I need to go through the lesson, right? But what I'm really coming to understand, and that's why I'm kind of just taking this step back in my life right now and becoming simply the observer of what's going on within my thoughts, within my feelings, within why I constantly get myself in these cycles of working so hard. For what? What am I working so hard for? And then what happens is that I become more and more disconnected. I have to disconnect in order to reconnect or recharge my batteries because I get so caught up in the doing and I disconnect from the being. But when you're being, you're truly aligned with your soul, with who you are. And when you're in that state of just being, it's easier to live life because you're living it from a place of peace, of joy, freedom, of love. And all of these things just sometimes take us a little bit to wrap our mind around because it's so different than how I spent 30 years of my life living. And it's crazy to think how intricate all these pieces have played out in my life. And it was just so mind-blowing this morning. I had to hop on here and really share that in hopes that maybe you're going through that too, where you keep running into the same lessons, you keep repeating the same habits and cycles, and you get frustrated why you're staying stuck in them. Why haven't I learned the lesson? What else do I need to learn? And you just feel like you're done with it. You want to move forward in your life. You want to go on this different path, on this different journey. You want to have different experiences or new experiences. But for some reason, it seems like the cycle just keeps repeating. Have you been there before? Where the cycle just keeps repeating and you have no idea why? And no matter how hard you work, no matter how great of a person you become, it just feels like you're on the hamster wheel because you're not being, you're doing. And the easiest way to figure out if you're doing and not being, are you searching outside of yourself for fulfillment? Are you doing things outwardly that you are hoping to make you feel a certain way inwardly? And that's just what I wanted to share today. So, with all the crap going on online, disconnect from social media, disconnect from watching movies. I know, get out of the Netflix rut. All you're doing going on there is trying to shut your mind off rather than deal with the shit that's going on inside of it. And it's not serving you. Because if you just sat with yourself for an hour every day rather than watching Netflix or scrolling through your phone, you'd understand what you're searching for. Because you're searching for something You're searching for a feeling. You're searching for a connection. You're searching for something more outside of yourself to make you feel something within. You're searching for something outside of you to make you feel something inside of you. Is this relating? Is this making sense? So get curious today. Shut your phone off. Put it on focus mode if you have an Android, or do not disturb, and watch how many times you go to grab your phone. And then ask yourself, why? Why am I constantly searching for something rather than just sitting with myself right now? Because when you can take the time and sit with yourself, all the answers come to light. And it's pretty cool. It's pretty magical. And I have a pretty cool thing to share with you, but I'll share with you tomorrow. But I wrote out a couple pages of just questioning myself, getting into that intuitive question, asking, allowing myself to just come up with the answers from within. And it was pretty cool. The moral of the story was, I don't trust myself. So when you think about that and all the areas of your life that could relate to, it's interesting how you can uncover your own answers by just asking. Anyway, that is it for me today. I will be back tomorrow with that story to share for you. So I hope you guys are enjoying these. I hope you come along with me on the journey of an awakened soul. I'm going to get more and more into detail. I'm going to go through a lot more things. Just talk about a lot of stuff that you can relate to, that maybe you're going through, that maybe you've had different perspectives on in your own life and you want to share. And it's really to connect us all. Because when you go through a journey of self-discovery and you start healing from the inside out and learning about who you are, it can feel very lonely. So I figure if I just start sharing this journey with you, that you won't feel alone. You'll feel like there's somebody else growing through it too. And if they can do it, I can do it.